Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
How you doing? All right, and you?
Good here.
All right. And basically, what I'd like to do is sort of we'll take care of the money stuff and the other discussion later or separately. Is mostly I just want you to kind of walk through a video tour, put your screen up, and okay, so how do the forms work? What do we as users do to make this thing do all the stuff it's designed to do? Because we're not really experienced in CRMs, we're not really experienced in any of this, and even though it'll change slightly when we go to the other module, I want to be able to get my guys going on it today. I want to be able to get them plugged in, now and say, here's how we put our deals, here's how we put all that stuff. So that's really what I'm looking to basically make a video users manual. I guess is what I'm mostly looking for. Because otherwise, it's great that you built it. I'm sure it's wonderful, but if I don't know how to use it, it doesn't get me anywhere.
Yeah, sure. So you want me to show you the system that I have created in CRM,
Yeah.
and we are switching to Creator because of the agents. Because in CRM it will cost you more. Correct?
Right, right. But basically, between now and the time we go to Creator, which probably won't be
Yep.
that long.
We need to see if what the system is, what the flow that we have created. Basically, I will replicate the same flow into the Creator.
Exactly, exactly. And that way both we'll know how to use it for the next few weeks or whatever, as well as and we'll have to do another quick video to minorly change it, but we'll know how to use it. Also, we'll be able to say, hey, we expected when this click happened it would do this, not that, and you'll be like, oh, okay, whatever. We can kind of
Yeah.
address it, but mostly because right now we're flying without a system, and we're getting pretty busy. So it's kind of like, and I've been telling the guys for about a month. I'm like, it'll be here in a week. It'll be here in a week. I want to be like, all right, it's here now. I'll just share my login with them for now and be like, okay, go in, do your thing, because the 4 or 5 people we have now, I totally trust.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first thing is to kind of get that done. And let me just change the. Let me make these graphics are always so huge. Um, make the graphics a lot smaller. Okay, that's fine. That's out of the way enough. Yeah, I'll go with the stupid wiggly one. All right, so that's pretty much it. So if you can kind of walk us through that, and then we'll cover the other things separately. But I just want to kind of see the video. So once you turn your screen on, I'll be able to load it on the thing.
You there?
Yep.
So you want me to share my screen with you?
Yeah. Yeah. Please.
Okay, sharing now. Can you see my screen? Let me know if my screen is
Sure.
visible to
Yep,
you.
there it is. Okay. Cool.
Is it?
Yep.
Okay. So let me open the document with you also
All right.
that I have shared with you. Um, so I think we should start with the document first. Okay. So basically for you, I'm just using the four modules as of now. Okay.
Right.
Okay. In the CRM. One is the property module to store our property details For example, let's say a um, seller submitted a form with us, and that form submission entry will go into the property module with all of the details from the form. And because if you remember in from our last meeting, you asked me to make the email mandatory. Correct. And whenever we are receiving a property form by using the functionality, I am creating a seller also in a seller module.
Okay.
Okay. And for example, let's say today a seller submitted one form, and tomorrow he submitted the another one. Okay. So this means that that same seller submitted two properties with us. Okay. So what
Right.
I
Right.
added in our CRM based on the email, I am just creating one seller and associating multiple properties with only one seller. So the searching criteria for the seller is their email. Are you
Okay.
getting that?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Then we have the buyer's module. In buyer's module, I am submitting the buyer's form submission entries, storing the buyer's submission form entries. Let's say I am the buyer, and today I submitted a form using your Zoho form. I got the link and I submitted the form that I need, that property dash 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 xyz property, and I input my email address, name, and my requirements that I need a property in this county, and I have a budget of this. So I submitted the form. Then using the integration, that form submission entry will go into the Zoho CRM buyers module. Okay.
Yep.
Is it okay?
Yeah, that makes
So
sense.
then, yeah. Do you have any
Now,
questions?
is the buyer also followed by their email? Because far more often we have buyers who are repeat users rather than sellers. Sellers sometimes are repeat users, but usually
Hmm.
sellers are one shot. It's great. It's great that they can be repeat, but are buyers also repeat by the email as well?
Yep, I can. I mean, right now I have not added the email check in the buyers module because we do not have any. No, in a form, it's the email field is not required. But what we can do in our CRM, we can have a check. For example, let's say we got buyer today, and in next month also, same buyer submitted the form again. We can add an entry in our CRM based on the email check. We will not create another buyer record for that customer. We will just notify our agents that this buyer is interested again to buy a property, and this is the requirements. And we will attach the form submission entry in the respective buyer record in the attachment.
Okay, great. Yeah, and of course, once the buyer is in, it will do all that inquiry matching stuff from the buyer
Yeah,
because
yeah, correct.
yeah,
For
yeah,
that also, yeah, I will go into that because right now
yeah. No,
I'm
okay,
just explaining the modules to you.
yeah. Okay, okay. Thank you. Yeah, I
Then
appreciate it.
we have then we have the another module, inquiry. Okay. Reason I have created the inquiry module because um see, we will have many buyers with the property, with one property, correct?
Yeah,
And when with one property, multiple buyer, and multiple buyer can be associated with the multiple properties,
right.
right? For let's say I'm buyer, I can show you the interest in three or four properties, not only one. Correct. Which is why I added
Yeah,
the inquiry module. It will associate the property and the buyers. The inquiry module is
nice. Okay.
having a
Yeah.
lookup of property and a buyer. Okay. So this way, one property, many inquiry, many buyers, and one buyer, many inquiry and many properties. So
Okay.
this is the use case of inquiry module.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And I check your comments on the Upwork. You were saying that you shared these stages with us, the pipeline stages, but I have not mentioned all of these stages. Reason because you mentioned so many stages, but as per my knowledge, I think we should not use that stages. We can, let's say we have this stage new. Okay, uh somebody, let's say I'm the agent and I'm trying to move property from new to verified. So in the verified, I can make a fields mandatory before. That means the property will be verified only if these documents are submitted. If these documents are not submitted, then it will show an alert to the agent on a record, on a property record, that it cannot be verified because these documents are missing. You getting my point?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And,
yeah.
and,
So,
and just and just to be clear, a lot of times there are no documents at that stage. It's simply, the Zillow link, the ARV, the comps. It's more information than it is documents. But basically, yes, that
yeah.
the agent
And
has to complete their checklist, whatever that checklist might be. Yes.
correct. See, you are saying the checklist. So what we can do, we can have a blueprint. And if they, let's say I'm the agent and I select verified. And if I'm selecting verified, that means that I'm saying that this property is completely verified from my side. But there might be the case
Okay.
that they
Yep.
have not updated the property in our CRM. So we will input the checklist, that they will mark the checklist as a true. If they mark checklist as a true, then it will be verified. Otherwise, it will move back to the new stage, the previous
Okay.
stage.
Yeah. And when it's waiting to be verified, the agent and the managers. So me, I get all messages for right now. We might change that in the future, but the agent gets the message. The manager, which is Ryan for wholesale and Mark for self storage, gets a message, and I also get a message. So that allows us to follow up with the agent and say, "Hey, listen, agent, you need to fill in these blanks. Oh, this is why you didn't fill them in. Okay, fine, whatever." But
Mhm.
when we're reminding the agent that it's not filled in, we also want to remind, and that can be a single email once a day that says, "Hey,
Yeah.
these 14 deals." It doesn't have to be like an email for each deal. It can be however you want to do it. I don't care. But the point is, it
No,
doesn't have to
for
be
that
huge.
also
But
we can set up a reminders. Let's say in our property module, it let's say ideally we should have a document today that for that property, but it's not there in our CRM or in our creator, but it should be there. In that case, what we will do, we will set up a workflow which will run on a specific day, like day after creation of the property or 2 day after the creation of property. It will check if the document is there. If it's not there, it will send out email notification on after the 2 days of creation at 9 a.m. morning to
yep.
the
Okay.
agents or to the specific person.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's perfect.
Yep. It's like
Yep.
a reminders to them that these things are missing, these pieces are missing for the property or for the seller or for the buyer.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Yeah. So, which is why, I mean, I make these stages a little bit compact, but it's totally up to you if you want all of your stages. It's totally up to you. I mean, you need to tell me. So, yeah. So
Well,
that
I
is why.
mean,
And
so sorry. Go ahead.
no, I'm saying that, for example, we have the paper signed here, correct? And for the paper sign, like at this point, you are saying that seller needs to sign the agreement. Correct. And for the agreement also, I ask you many times how you will send out the agreement. Is it going to be automated, or is it like follow the same pattern for all of the seller? You will use the same template, or is it going to change for every seller? If it's the same, then we can use
Our
the same
goal,
template. Mm-hmm.
yeah. So our goal is that at some point, whether it's in phase 1 or 2, but somewhere in the whole set of phases, we have the contract being created within Zoho, being sent within Zoho. Signed. We want everything to live in Zoho. So literally, it goes. It stays in the Zoho for the entire life cycle. What happens now is um, we have so we have in BunnyDoc and in DocuSign two different signing softwares, whatever, same thing.
No, but if
We
we are
have
using the
templates,
Zoho
and
one,
we
then
go in, we
why to
open the
use
template, we
document?
fill in.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
No, well, once we get into Zoho, we won't use those anymore. The whole point is that part of what you're building here, eventually, maybe not the phase
Mm-hmm.
one, phase two, but one of the phases I think was build the contracts module so we can not really write the contract so much as edit the template because our attorney writes the contract. Edit the
Mm-hmm.
template and then send it out from Zoho. It comes back in Zoho and it gets stored attached in that,
Mm-hmm.
I'll call it, folder attached to the deal in Zoho. So if we open that folder, everything that property, that deal, that property, that buyer, that seller, that whatever, everything related to them is right there. So
Correct.
that's where I want to get to. But on a functional basis, whatever the software is, we have templates. We put templates in, and then each deal. Right now, it's manual. We open it up in DocuSign. We fill it
And
in. Then
yep.
in the future, it will be somewhat automated. Like Zoho will take the information from the property and automatically fill in the blanks. That would be nice if we can get there. If we can't, whatever. That's
Yeah,
not a
yeah,
big deal.
from the signed document. For the signed document, just give me a second. I'm at
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
just give me a second. I'm just attaching my blueprint. Hello, can you hear me?
I'm here. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so for that, what we can do is like, uh, rather than using the DocuSign, if we have the Zoho one, then we can use the Zoho sign. And
Yeah.
once the seller signed the contract, the signed copy of the contract will auto attach with the seller record or with the property.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. So the goal is, and part of the goal is, and just like I said, I want to make you a partner on the running of this software as a service. So every new customer, you'll get more money and whatever. We'll figure percentages or however we do it. But basically, because I appreciate everything you're doing. I know we've had some tense conversations. I'm not, I'm concerned, not upset. I guess what I'm saying. But basically, I want to be able to say to my team, everything is in Zoho. You log in one place and everything happens in there, whether it's creator
Mhm.
or whatever piece of it is,
Mhm,
depends.
I got it. I got
But
it. Actually,
yeah,
uh-huh. I believe the only concern in our project is that the stages. Because of the stages, there is a confusion. And other than this, I don't think so. We have any issues with the property buyers or inquiry module. Once the stages is set up, then everything will be sorted.
yeah. And just to be clear, when you're saying stages, see, and I just sent you the link in Upwork, and I'll send it over here too. The 26 or something pipeline steps, whatever, that literally go through ever
Okay.
and new
Okay,
submission,
I need
initial
to
review,
know.
contract made, data collection.
Okay.
That
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
the stages might take a bunch of those. I don't know. Like it might be 5 stages and 26 different breakdowns. I just want to make sure, and this might, what I'm calling pipeline, the terms are not something I'm comfortable on. Is I don't know if those are checklist items, but I also sent you the checklist. So all I'm saying is I want to make sure that everybody is clear. You're clear. I'm clear. The agents are clear. That okay, it's a new submission. Then we collect data. Then we have an
Mhm.
initial review. Then we collect more data. You know, bless you. That kind of thing.
Hmm. But is it for the seller or the property or for the buyer? You need to tell me because I
Okay,
was
so
when I
most.
was uh,
Sorry, go ahead.
no, because when I was checking this pipeline stages, I was checking, then I thought that some of these pipeline stages are for the buyer, not all of them for the seller.
So this particular list that's here now is
Hmm.
pretty much all related. Well, so this is the life cycle for a property, not really
Okay.
buyer or seller. This is from the
Mm-hmm.
day the property comes in, website submission, cold call, however it enters the system, basic data, data
Mm-hmm.
collected, ARV research, we sign the contract with seller, then we turn around and
Mm-hmm.
start marketing it. That's where it says
Okay.
live on photos, lockbox, live on MLS. Now we're marketing the property. Offer received from buyer. So this is from the property's perspective, not from the buyer or seller. This is what happens to that property. It starts
Okay.
by a seller contact, and then it goes to marketing, and then it goes to what you're calling the inquiry stage with as many buyers, whatever. Then it goes to offer received, under contract, deposit in. That's kind of the buyer side, but that's both. So this is the life cycle of a deal, basically.
Okay, okay.
Um,
And what about, let's say, let's talk about this basic data collection, the first stage of the
yep.
pipeline or the second. So, in this basic data collection, I need to know, do you want me to add field required fields, like what basic fields needs to be there if they are marking the basic data
Yeah.
collecting?
Basically, at a minimum, and there's sometimes more data that
Hmm.
is needed, but there's the form that I created called the wholesale team form, which I'll pull up now and I'll send you the link to that. The team related form for new buyer team, which is in Zoho, and for um, seller or the wholesale seller team, which is also in Zoho. Though, and I'll put those links in here. Those forms contain most of the stuff that we should call required. Now, not every, this is where it gets a little bit more of an art than a science. Not every deal you're going to be able to find every answer. Um,
And
but it, we want to get as close as we can, I guess what I'm trying to say.
mhm.
So I just
Okay,
put it in the bottom of that Word doc, of the bottom of that Google Docs. I just put it there.
checking now.
Um,
I got the wholesale seller basic team form. But do you really think that we need the team form now if we are giving the portal access to the agents or your team? Then I don't think so. We need the wholesale seller basic or any kind of team form.
I mean, honestly, probably not given this new model. Again, this is where the reason I went to hire someone is because I don't know this stuff. I tried to do this thing myself and I get totally screwed up. So
So
like,
see,
if you know,
okay.
if like the public forms, the public self storage, public buyer, public the other one, the we buy your houses at a fair price. Those public forms are needed because they have to go on the website and they have to have those same compliance check boxes as I know I did it for the wholesale seller form, but whatever. Those public forms will exist because that's what the world sees. The team
Yeah.
forms, I built that when I was thinking, okay, well, I don't really want to give every single team member a login. And I'm a little bit wondering if the team forms might still have a reason because if some other wholesaler wants to submit a deal to me, but I'm not married to that team form needing to exist. Like if it's not worth the effort, it's not worth the effort. Because anybody who's in the game who wants to submit a deal is either going to probably join my team or they're just going to send me their deal and say, here's everything. So they're not really going to want to go through a different process. So you're probably right. As we move into creator, it probably doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Uh,
because see, in Creator, we will have the portal access of approx 50 users in one go. So
yeah,
you
okay.
can give access to them, but we will not give whole access. We will not give whole access. We will just give them a limited access so that they can just modify the information which is required for them. Not all of the information will be shown to them.
Right. Now, and just so what I have in my mind, okay, so my agents are responsible for, especially the license agents. Like I have wholesale agents, I have license agents, so actually realtors or whatever real estate is their access within Creator is to do everything. The Creator only helps me if it lets them do almost everything they could do at their level in the CRM, meaning they can move it down the pipeline to different stages and different steps. They can, I mean, effectively, my job as a broker is for them to
Mm-hmm.
tell me, hey, the package is there. Go look at it. This is what I think we should offer on the property. What do you think? And then I say, yep, go
Mm-hmm.
ahead, write the contract. Okay, the contract is there. Go ahead, review it and sign it. And then it will go out to like my job, Ryan's job, Mark's job is in theory to be popping in and out, not really running the deal. So
Mm-hmm.
the agent in Creator is or whatever
Yep.
is really doing all the work at the end of the day. Like it's their job to collect
Yeah.
information. That I say, okay, write the contract. They fill in the contract, and I say, okay, yeah, contract's ready now. Whatever. Da 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 da. So I'm popping in, and to be clear, we work. Ryan, Mark, and I work very horizontally. We work as if we're all the same, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm the guy who's legally responsible for everything. So like I
Mm-hmm.
oversee everything. Ryan oversees
Mm-hmm.
all of wholesale. Mark oversees all of self storage.
Okay.
Even though legally we're partners, but the point is like da da da. So there's sort of three layers of checks. There's agent, the Mark and Ryan level, and then there's me. And I don't care if me and Mark and Ryan are in some way the same, but basically I'll see things they won't because I'll see both self storage and non.
Okay.
But
I
basically,
have one question.
yeah, yeah.
And on what basis do you guys assign the properties to your agents? Like
So
you will see this property or what?
a
Like
little
how
a
you
little bit
assign?
blended. So the agents are typically finding their own properties and
Hmm.
launching their own properties. However, when I get a property or a buyer, like I have three buyers that called me this weekend, I don't deal directly with buyers. So I
Mm-hmm.
assign that buyer out to one of the agents, somebody. I call them
Okay.
up, I say whatever. And within that, when I was talking about like I don't need the whole financial section right now. I just want to be able to show the agent honestly what they're making and say, okay, we made $1,000. Company took 200. I take 300. You take 500. Whatever the split
That's
is.
actually a kind of dashboard that we can provide to them on
Yeah,
their portal. Like
and
on
exactly.
monthly basis, yep, on monthly
Yeah,
basis, how much they have earned, and from which property, how much they have earned.
right. Exactly. Now and where that connects to what we're just saying is if they find so I'll stay with license because it's easier. If they find the deal, they run the deal, and I'm just the brokerage firm. They get 80 or 90%, I get 10 or 20%. If my
Mm-hmm.
buyer, I give my buyer to my agent, or another agent turns the deal over. Somebody else doesn't want to run a deal, so they give it to somebody. There's what's called a
Mm-hmm.
referral fee. So the company takes 20%. The referral fee is whatever they do, usually another 20%. And then the agent
Mm-hmm.
working the deal gets the 60. So when I'm sending a deal or a buyer to my agent, I might say I have the option, as every agent has the option to say, I'm sharing this with Jenny, and Jenny's going to
Mm-hmm.
pay the company her 20%. They're going to pay me 20%, and Jenny's going to keep the rest. So when I'm assigning something, I want to be able to say, hey, there's an extra deduction here from the agent's money. It's not the normal thing. But basically, most of the time, the agent is finding the property. And if that's too complicated, I can work on that internally, that money thing. But most of the time, the agent's finding the property and running the whole deal. But sometimes we
Mm-hmm.
are assigning them the deal, and sometimes we're moving the deal. Like Ryan had one last month, and he didn't want to do it anymore, so I moved it over to Jose, and Jose screwed it up, and I moved it back to me. But the point is, sometimes that's one of the keys that I'll have is I'll be able to reassign things. Mark and
Mm-hmm.
Ryan probably will, but that'll definitely be a me thing.
Okay. So but for the portal, I believe we should have a property assignment. Like for
Yeah.
example, let's say we receive a property from our form submission, correct? And we should have a one
Yep.
responsible person who will assign a property to the agents. Okay. So once the property is assigned to agents, that property will be visible to that specific agent, not to the whole agents, so that he can edit the stages based on the information that he or she collected.
Yep.
So this is
Exactly. So
how portal works.
yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, if the team member enters it, like on this form, team member name, if they enter it, it's assigned to them unless I move it. It's theirs.
Yeah,
Now, I,
I will give you the drop down options of the agents on a
okay,
record. Yep, so that you can
okay,
easily
good, yeah,
assign it.
and
Because
you're
see,
and you're
because
absolutely
if
right.
it, yep, and because if I gave you the name option, then it there might be the possibility that one of your user or your I mean the partner
Yeah,
input the incorrect name. Correct.
and
So which
yeah,
is
no,
why,
it should definitely be a drop down. You're right. Yes.
yeah, drop down will be a good option. The agents will be there in the drop down. They can just simply search with their name or initials or the last name or the first name. They will get the list and select the agent and assign the property to them.
Right. Exactly. And exactly. And basically, and if it's entered by that agent, it
Mm-hmm.
can be automatically assigned to that agent. I mean, that way, I can change it if I need to. But that way, if
Yep.
Ryan adds 5 deals today, I don't have to go in and make 5 deals go to Ryan. Ryan already started those 5 deals. They're his deals.
Yep,
And from a
we
visit,
can set up. Yep, we can set up a owner chain there. Like, so let's say you were saying that wholesale properties were managed by Ren, correct? And
yeah,
the superior owner will be Ren only. The agents will be assigned, so they will just work on it. But the Ren will also have a access to it so that he can check the
right.
properties where it is and at what stage it is right now. And yeah, so this is how I'm
And,
thinking that we can build the creator system.
and if we can do one more thing, which you may already be doing, is know who entered the deal into the system, because we do one thing that a lot of brokers don't, is if Jane enters a deal, but she does nothing else but enter the deal. She finds the seller, she gets the seller in conversation, and then she's done.
So
And
you're
someone else
saying that
runs the deal.
basically,
What?
okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So basically, if Jane's the one that found the seller, Jane, even if she does
Hmm.
nothing else, she will get
Hmm.
something at the end of the deal. She'll get a piece of the end of the
Uh,
deal.
so
So
you so you mean that you need to know the property generator plus the property owner, that they both should be there in on the
if
record.
we could do that, that would be wonderful, because that way, because even if I reassign a deal to someone else, the person
Mm-hmm.
that met that seller deserves something. It's only fair if we wouldn't have that
Correct.
seller if they hadn't done something.
Mm-hmm. No, no,
So
that is okay because see, initially in Zoho, when somebody let's say user A created a record in our system, in our creator as a property record or a seller record, okay, and then that property is reassigned to owner or the agent B.
yeah,
Then
exactly.
what we will do, we will have the another field named as property generator. We will store the agent A in that and owner will be in another field so that we can have a whole process in it, like who generated this property, who created this property.
Exactly. That's perfect. That's perfect. Yep.
Yep. I think we are good here. The only thing was only the pipeline. Yep.
Yeah,
But I
and and
think
and,
this.
and again, I've given you the pipeline. I've given you the checklist, just so you know what a property has to go through. Exactly, whether you call it stages, pipeline, checklist. Because I also sent you those PDFs of the checklist from within. Paperless pipeline is our, and document storage. I know it's not phase one, phase two. It's one of the other phases, but document storage is
Mm-hmm.
critical in order
Mm-hmm.
for a file, a property. When we're at that level, we're talking property level. And
Mm-hmm.
if the state of Pennsylvania comes into my office and says, "Show me the file on this property," all of those checkboxes, not all the ones that are appropriate to that deal. There are checkboxes that may not be appropriate to every deal, but the point is, I need to be able to open a folder and say, "Here's your consumer notice. Here's your sales agreement. Here's your seller stuff. Here's your buyer stuff." So you now have, between the pipelines and the checklists, this is what a deal ideally should need. There are certainly
Mm-hmm.
times where something on the checklist isn't appropriate, and the human has to say, "Well, I didn't need that." But
Mm-hmm.
so I don't know stages, pipelines, checklists. I don't know what you need to know. Like I don't know how you need to term them, but now you kind of understand sort of where they fit in, and that's the life cycle of every deal. And there are, the last thing I'll say, because I'm going through it right now, there are, within the pipeline, there's always anomalies where, and there's no way you can program. I'm not saying you program for this, but there's always anomalies where things go awry. Like we sent an agreement to a buyer yesterday, and we got a
Mm-hmm.
nasty, disgusting, "I will never deal with this person" email back from him, totally just being a complete drunken jerk. I think, I'm hoping he was drunk. And so all of a sudden, we're going back in the pipeline replacing him. Um, there's nothing you can do to fix that on your end, I know, but I was letting you know that like everything's variable. The last thing that I want to mention on visibility. So you're right, the agent only sees that which they're working on. So in the case where Jose found the deal and Maria is running the deal, she's the
Mm-hmm.
actual agent in charge. Jose and Maria can see that particular deal, and they're the only ones at that level of permission, at the agent level, that can see that particular deal. Jose can't
Mm-hmm.
do any,
Okay.
and Jose can't do anything with the deal. And then Ryan will see everything in the wholesale sphere. Mark will see everything in the self storage sphere, and then I'll see everything in the whole ball. That's kind of how I have it
Mm-hmm.
figured out.
Yep, that will be done in Creator.
Okay. And so basically, so I think we're in good shape there. And basically, as far as the money, I just want to understand. So basically, we were, before we made any payments, we made 600 and something dollars in payments, and okay, fine.
Mm-hmm.
Which probably we should close out. And that's actually what, and I know we've eaten up a lot of time, so it may not be a lot of time. I wanted to be able to see today, or if you want to do it later, or you want to send me a video, I want to understand how today I can start using the phase one and phase two that you built for two reasons. One is I want to start using it. That's the bigger reason. My team is waiting to use it. Two is I want to pay you for the phase two and get you paid out on that, so that then we can go on to the creator phase. So that's one thing. But before we paid any money, we were at 2350, and now you're saying another 650 or something to add the creator phase, correct? So a total of $3,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because
But
yesterday somewhere
so you are.
somewhere yesterday you said $4,000, and that's what made me kind of throw a switch.
Mm-hmm. I got it. But the thing is that, like, let's not talk about the money because you said that you need the system that I have built right now. But we are building the same thing in Creator. Then why you want to use the CRM now?
Well, mostly okay. So first of all, I want to use a CRM now because I've been telling my team since late July it was coming. That every week was we were going to have it, we were going to have it, we were going to have it. So that was kind of the first reason that I want to have it now. But second of all is I want to make sure. Second of all, really was which is that's very important. Don't get me wrong. I have 7 new people that have come on since you and I first started talking, and I've been telling
Hmm.
them all we have this wonderful, powerful, brand new, terrific CRM type system that you guys will be able to use through me. I said you're going to have forms you can use, and right now they don't have anything they can use. I haven't shown
Mm-hmm.
them the forms because I don't know where the forms go. So So I have deals coming in every day that I
Mhm.
need to like. So that's number one. That is the first. That is the first reason is because we need to use it. We need to um, start running a business, basically. And this isn't this was, and I know things change. I'm not pointing fingers at all, but I'm saying we were supposed to be at this point by the end of July. So we're
Mhm.
4 to 5 weeks past that line, and I'm running out of
Mhm.
reasons I can explain to my team why I
No,
don't have.
I can totally understand your point, but my point is rather than giving them a CRM system, let's wait for another 4 or 5 days so that I can build a same thing in the creator and it will be functional.
Well, if it's only 4 or 5 days, that's fine. If it was like 2 or 3 weeks, that's a whole different conversation.
No,
Um,
no, no, not 2 or 3 weeks. The system that I have built in CRM to have a replicate system in Creator that will take me around 4 or 5 working days,
right.
not more than that,
Okay.
because I will do whole day for that, like 8 hours a day to build that system.
Okay. That's great. And then,
Yeah.
but this is where the money is important because if we're you sent a message yesterday at 11:02 ish, I think it was yesterday, saying $4,000 and you would come down to 3,500. If it's
Mm-hmm.
another $1,700 to build this, I'm not building it. That's not happening because I just that's not the right number. That's not a number that I would find to be the right number. Then later you said $3,000 instead of 3,000.
Mm-hmm.
If it's 3,000, meaning 650 more, here you say at 1253, yes, correct, 650 more. If it's 3,000, 650 more, great. If it's 4,000, and that's for the entire, all the phases, everything done. If it's 3,000 for everything done instead of 2,350, yes. If it's 4,000 instead of 2,350, no. That's where that's where I don't understand how your answer went from 4,000 to 3,500 to 3,000. At 4,000, it just isn't worth doing.
See, this 3000 or 2350 is for the phase 1 and phase 2, which will include all the pipeline setup and the portal setup.
Okay, the original price for all the phases together is 2,350. That was all the
Well,
phases that was right.
no, I need to check all the phases because this 2350 or the 3000 is for the things that I have already built in the CRM,
Okay.
including including the portal, because a portal need extra work, because portal is not given by creator by default. I need to create a portal in the Zoho creator so that your agents can check those. Or if you are not sure about creator, what I can do, I have one client with me for whom I have created a system in the in the Zoho creator, and for that client I have built the agent portal so that his agent can use it. I can give you a brief look so that you can understand what creator is and how the portal will work.
Okay, but I'm taking here's the thing. You're saying creator, portal, and you got to realize those terms mean absolutely the differences mean nothing to me. I'm not the programmer, I'm the user. I used to have the
Mm-hmm.
same problem when I ran the interactive department for Lockheed Martin in that, and this was back in the early 2000s, in that I would be using technological terms, and my clients who were basically print and film people from early days of media had no idea. But I'm saying right here, your project price for everything, all the phases was 2355.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And how much on top of that to create? Because again, I am now saying the reason I wanted to see today how we use the system is A, we could use the system, and B,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm not able to do the portal solution on Zoho, I might stop completely and consider
Mm-hmm.
going over to Go High Level where all of my additional users are free. So on top of the 2355, which gets me all of the phases, how
Mm-hmm.
much more to get whatever you call it, portal, you call it creator,
Okay. Okay.
and
Let me do one thing. Let me do one thing. Let me do one thing. Let me
okay,
check all of the faces again. Then I will
okay,
get back to you. Okay.
yeah, because
If it's if
it's go ahead.
yeah. Yeah. So because I do not want to like I do not want to charge you extra. If the faces include the same thing, then I will not charge you extra. It will be done with this 3,000 or 2350, including all of the faces. But for
Yeah,
that, I need to check the faces again
right,
because
because here at
we
1253 you said
added the
yes, so
portal also, and based on the faces, I need to check how. Uh-huh.
yeah, I get it. Now understand that that the phases, most of the phases don't involve all these other people. Okay,
Correct.
meaning the education phase, I'll have students, but I'll have students and I'll have me. Pretty much that's it.
Uh-huh.
And the students will actually not be fed their, I'll be tracking the students in Zoho, but I'll be using my learning software to actually run the student process. So that stuff, so within lending, which I may give up on, I may drop lending in order to stay, because a lot of this is also me staying in my budget. I may not
Mm-hmm.
do, I may delay lending. I won't drop it. I'll delay lending. I'll delay the bank reconciliation till later. I'll eventually do it,
Okay.
but later. Basically, I'm hoping what you said here. So really, the only one that has this agent and manager and me is really just the phase one, the phase two, and the contract writing and the document management. Those ones are the ones that the agents need access to, the managers need access to, and I need access to. The education, the lending, the financial reconciliation, that's me and the world. That's it. That's basically me. As far as Zoho is concerned, that's me. So it's
Okay.
only the phase one, phase two, and the contract stuff really that is has any connection to this portal creator kind of universe.
Uh-huh. Okay. Okay,
Um,
no worries. Let me check the all of the faces again so that I can approve you like if this is quotation for all of the faces or it's only for the phase one and two.
uh,
Okay.
it, and meanwhile, when can we
And
do an actual tour that I can show my team? Here's how we use what we have. And also understand it. I mean, not to be too sharp about it, but it also lets me know that we delivered on phase one and phase two, so that I can release that other payment. I want
yeah,
to
if
see it
everything
operational to say,
if see if you are okay with the portal, let's do one thing. Before starting the portal project, I also need your confirmation because I do not want to go back and forth again and again because it's really time taking, like time wastage of you and me also, correct? Otherwise we both will
but that's why
waste our time. Yep.
I want to start before we even look at the portal project, because in my mind, all we're doing is cloning what we did in phase one and phase two into the portal. But I haven't
Yep.
seen phase one and phase two operational. I'm asking you to show me how to use right now. If phase one and phase two were done and there was no portal happening, take me
Mm-hmm.
on a tour. Not today, but that's kind of what I was hoping today was. Tomorrow morning, whatever you want to do, let's meet. Take me on a tour so that I can today,
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow, right now, start number one, see that phase one and phase two operate the way I need them to, that they match what
Mm-hmm.
phase one and phase two are. Because right now, how do I test it? I don't understand. I wouldn't know what to click if I tried. That's what I need you. I need you to show me how to use it if we weren't doing a portal. If I was just going to buy a bunch of CRM, and also, uh, so the That's what I need first before we look at, is this right for the portal? Because to me, this whole idea of a portal came up because, okay, so let me take a step back. First, I need to see what we built and that it operates. That,
Okay.
and that it
Okay.
operates
I got
properly.
it.
That's number one, because how do I pay you if I don't know if it works?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Number
So
two,
let's do one thing.
how
Mm-hmm.
do I use it?
Yeah,
Because
please
I've been
go.
waiting since the end of July to actually be utilizing it,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm out of time.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot wait. I don't really want to wait another 5 days because I'm waiting for another 5 days
Mm-hmm.
for something I don't know is right. That's the other problem. Number three,
Okay.
what would I, if I were to just pay memberships for all of my team, what am I paying memberships for? Form, CRM? Maybe paying memberships is the cheaper way to go. I don't know. But number one and number two are critical. I need to see the tool working and be able to start using the tool while you're building the other thing, assuming it all goes in the
Mm-hmm.
same backend. But that's where I need to be because, and also, I'm a little confused by your G. What should the portal contain? Because the pipelines were given to you, the checklists were given to you, the phase descriptions, very detailed phase descriptions, were given to you. And what I
Mm-hmm.
got back on that Word doc that you just showed me doesn't really incorporate what I provided, which makes me wonder if the actual tool built
Okay.
incorporates what I provided. Because if you have these same few phases in the phase
Mm-hmm.
one, phase two that you built, then what you built isn't right.
No,
Because
actually, in our the CRM that I have built is like already have the properties buyers and the inquiry module, and in the property I have added the stages. Okay, and there is also an integration between a form and a CRM for the buyers and the property.
but have you integrated the 25 pipeline steps? Have you integrated the
No,
checklists that I
no,
gave you?
I have not added all of the 25 checklist because I thought that, I mean, I also already told you in the very beginning of the meeting that adding a 25 stages is not a good option.
So,
Like
okay, so
it's
you say it's not a good option. I say this is what the life cycle of a deal is. So,
Mhm.
this is what has to happen in the order it has to happen. And I even sent you that spreadsheet that breaks it down further. And you're saying
Mhm.
it's not a good option, and I'm saying, well, this is how the business is run.
Okay.
So
Okay,
how?
let's do one thing.
Well, no,
Okay.
no, no. Just,
Uh,
just, just let me finish the question, please. You're saying it's
okay.
not a good
Okay, no
option, but
worries.
what I never heard is, but we'll provide you the same level of detail through the stages, and here's how I've done it. And this is again, this is exactly why I want to see what's been built, because if we aren't on the same page, that what I provided and said this is how the business is run is what you delivered back, and you haven't shown me why another solution is better. But I can tell you the five stages you created are not nearly enough. How do the five stages equate to the 25 pipeline steps? Are the checklists even in here?
I got your point.
No, 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 no. I'm not asking you to get my point. I'm asking a direct, specific question. If you
Yeah,
built it
if
based
you
on
are,
the five stages,
uh-huh,
how are
uh-huh.
my 25 pipeline steps and my 45 different things in checklists included in these 5 points?
No, because see, what we can have, like if I added a stages, let's say I add a stage named as qualified, okay? And if I'm saying qualified, that means that property is qualified to be in the market. But for being a qualified, there is a checklist that needs to be done in our CRM.
How does the
So for
agent know what
that,
qualified means?
we need to provide them a training first. Because if you are building a system for
Which
me,
is, I'm asking you for training. I'm
yeah,
at
I will
what I
provide.
want, what I wanted today, what I need tomorrow, before we go any further, is to see that
Mhm.
the package that we agreed would happen by the end of August, and we're now 5 weeks past that.
Okay.
I don't
No
have
worries.
phase one and phase
Uh-huh.
two in a way that I can use it.
Mm-hmm.
Or if I do, I don't know how to use it because I haven't been trained on it. So how do I train them if I haven't been trained? But I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying what I need to see, because otherwise, the last 2 months waiting for, if forget memberships, forget who has access, I haven't got a tool to use. My business has nothing to run on. This isn't let's create it by the end of January so we can hopefully do some sort of a release. No, this was let's have it for August the 31st.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying, and I was very clear yesterday that I wanted a tour today. And I'm sorry, I'm starting to get a little bit, I'm kind of heading back to the upset into things because it doesn't sound like we built what I very specifically provided lots of information to create. So when can I
Okay.
see, like today,
Can
tomorrow, when can I see what's been built? That's what I need to know.
Okay. Okay, can I show you the system now, which, like, what are the
That
things
would be
that we
great.
already have
That's
in our
that's
system?
that's what I had this time blocked off to do is get a complete from start tutorial. Hi, when a new property comes in, this is what happens. When a new buyer comes in, this is what happens. Here's how you move it down. So when I walked out of today, I was preparing to send this off to my team and say, let's start using this.
Can you see my screen?
Let me have that up here. Yep.
Yep. So this is the form. Sellers your house fast, easy, and a fair price. Okay. So this is the integration that I have built. It will go into the property module and in the layout real estate deals. And these are the field mapping that I have done for the form. Okay. And in the CRM, it will include the attachments, the video uploaded by them, financial file, and the file uploaded by them. And also a submission that will be entered into the property module of CRM will have a copy of a form in the attachment. Okay. Is it clear?
I don't understand.
So see, let's say I am the seller, okay, and I am filling out my information here, and then I need to add my house number. Just adding random things. Then we have the property type, the phone number, okay, I'm adding the financial file,
Okay.
okay, and then
And you can skip whichever ones you want. That's fine. That's yeah.
the image upload. Okay, I'm submitting the form now.
Okay.
It's submitted and it will go into the entries. Now, your users don't need to check it. Okay, I'm just checking it for my
Right.
for my reasons to check if it's successfully in recorded in the CRM or not. If you
Now,
see here, you will see the status.
now, when it's submitted, do we get notification that something's been submitted?
Yep. If you go into a builder form, let me show you one thing. See, these are the email notification that I added. So
Okay.
these people will be notified,
All right.
and check, even you can check your email address, this one, goodpeoplegoodhomes.com.
Okay.
If you received any email notification, you will have the subject line with the first name and last name in it, and then you will have all of the information in the body with the relevant attachments in it, and the form submission copy also.
Okay.
Have you checked the email?
I'm looking now.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Okay. Yep. It came in.
You got the email notification,
Yep.
correct?
Yep.
Yep, and you will see that you on that you have received the email body with all of the information and attachment in it. The PDF, the form submission copy also.
Yep.
Yep. Then, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
So I'm heading back into my CRM in the property module. Okay. And you will see that I got the entry. So, yeah. So this is the entry that we got from that form submission. Okay. Then you will see that these are the task that is created for you, because as of now we do not have any uh,
Okay. Hang on one
users.
second. Hang on.
Uh-huh.
Betty's office or no?
Betty's up there.
Oh, she's up there.
Thank you. All right. I'm back. I hurt my hand.
You there?
Yep. Yep.
So this is the record that got created from the form submission, and it will also I also added a tag that we got this submission from sellers your house form. And then on the form submission you will see that open task has been created for you. So, and if you open one of your tasks, okay, let's say property inspection, then in the description user, I already put the record link, so they will just simply click on it and it will redirect a user to a property. Okay.
Okay.
Then if you see the attachments, you will see that it contains all of the attachment that was submitted by the seller. It will
Okay.
contain all of this is the form copy which is in attachment, and these are the images or the files that they added. Okay.
Yeah.
Then we have the email. Let me see. Okay. Right now I didn't add any. I mean, there is some error in the subject line, but the person who submitted the form, like I am the one who submitted the form, which is why it's saying to Simran456 at the rate Gmail. A seller will receive this email notification. Welcome. Award. Thank you for
Nice.
choosing to list your property and this and that. All of things. Okay.
Yep.
So this is the email which will go out on form submission to the seller. Okay. Then we can have a bunch of emails. Okay. Then I have the blueprint here. Okay. Let's say I am the user and I am the one who is managing this property. Okay. So I got this button. I will click on this button like I have verified this seller. So I will click on this transition. A checklist will pop up. So
Okay.
I cannot save it because I need to make this checklist as true. So this means that I have prepared the report. I have listed the agreement. Commission is structured. A seller meeting is done. I mean, it is scheduled.
Those will
And
never
all
all
of,
happen at the same time.
yeah. So in that case, you need to tell me, I do not want these, all of these checklist on this stage. I need some of them. And there might be the case that these are not mandatory. So you
No,
need
no,
to
no,
tell.
no. That's not. I'm not saying they're not mandatory. I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying it will take many. This checklist will take many visits to complete. For example, before market analysis is so data collected, links pulled together, Zillow, whatever. That should probably be a check. There may be some more check buttons, but the point is, market analysis will be prepared. Then they'll hit save. It will alert us market analysis has been prepared. Then we'll
Yep,
review
correct.
it. So
Uh-huh.
so not all of this not all of this gets checked off before save gets hit.
Mhm.
It'll be partially completed, hit save. It'll remind everyone here's what's left. It'll be partially completed, hit saved. It'll remind everyone what's left. It's not done until it's all done, but it's not going to be someone's going to sit down and have all of those things done. They're
So
going to
for
have some of
that
those
we
things.
can, yep, for that we can have a multiple buttons. Like for example, let's say I just removed all of the checklist as of now because I just added the one. At this point of time, I am marking this checklist as completed and then I'm hitting the save button. Then I will have another button, the another transition. The next step will be to send agreement to the seller. I mean, I'm just showing you the system
Right.
that
No,
these
I
are
get it.
the
I get it.
things. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's say, because this is the blueprint that I have created. Let me see if I add it. Okay. Okay. So let's say send agreement to the seller. So at this point, if I click on this button, I can give you a automation that a small pop-up will arise on which a user can add a document which will go out to the seller to sign the agreement. Right now, I have not added anything. I just added the checklist. So user will just completed this checklist as true that he or she already sent the agreement to the seller. And then we have the field here. It will like show the message if you share the contract with me at this point. Oh sorry, this is just for the automation purpose. I
Yeah.
just added this for you so that you can review it and provide me the document. So
Okay.
let's say a user sent the agreement to the seller. Okay. And if you want to see the history, you see the stage history here. If you click on it, you will see that it is verified, it is ready to market, it is signed off, and everything will be recorded here. Then the next button is send property to the buyers. Let me see what is happening here. Okay. So at this point of time, if I click on this button and if I mark the checkbox as true and hit is as a save, then it will send email notifications to the buyers. I mean, it will search the buyer which is there with this property location in our system. Let's say, let me show you the functionality which I added in your system. So this functionality is doing like it's fetching the buyers. Then based on the county, let's say in this for this property county, I pick the county as this one. Correct?
Okay.
There's okay. Then my functionality will go and it will go into this buyer module and it will search all of the buyers who is interested in this county, like to have a property, and it will associate the buyers with this property. Let me just quickly create a buyer for you to show you the process. Okay, just give me a minute. Or let's change. Oh, we already have a county here. Okay, that will work. So if you see here, can you see the seller in the related list? So what it did, the automation created the seller in the backend, in the sellers module automatically. You see, in the seller, I stored the email address, seller first name, seller last name, phone number, email address, and the property.
Okay.
And if you go here in the related list, you will see the property here too. So this means if it's in related list, so this means that one seller can sell multiple properties. Okay, so let's go back to our stages. So if I hit this button, send property to seller, then I need to mark this checkbox as true. So this is a kind of confirmation that you are now sending property to the buyers. So I am saving it. So what it will do now, the functionality will run and it will search for the buyers who are in this county and interested in this property. Okay, let's just wait for a few seconds to see if it's listed here. Start here. Let me just run this automatically. So I'm here. This is our property. Can you see the 4 inquiry here?
Yep.
We got one seller. I mean, there is a missing part because the buyers are not getting attached here. But yeah, there might be the automation failure. But if you see that inquiries got created. So this means, I mean, I run it manually, which is why it just created a duplicate. But if you check here, so this means we got two buyers in our system with the same county, which is mentioned in a property and also in a buyers module. So it just automatically created the inquiry record for this property. Correct. And if you open this inquiry, you will see the property got attached with this inquiry and the buyer also. Okay, and we got the another inquiry, the same property, but with the different buyer. So this means that we can sell this property to these two buyers because they are interested in the same county. I mean, I just for the automation purpose, I am searching the buyers based on the county mentioned in the property. But
Yeah,
you
that's
can
fine.
tell me that, yeah, you can further tell me like this should be the matching criteria. I mean,
Yeah,
only
right.
count, not county. Yep. So, which is why we just got two buyers. And if you want to check, if I open this buyer, you will see that, yeah, this buyer is interested in these three counties. And the property that we got is for this county, the first county. So which is why we the system created inquiry for this one. And if you check the inquiry here, you will see that the system connected this buyer with the three properties. That this means that this buyer might be interested in these three properties. Later on, a agent can call a buyer directly using a number from here, and then he can say, okay, we got three properties for you. And later on he just simply, agents can click on it and then go back to the properties, and then he can explain, okay, this property is in this and it is in this location, and all of these things, I mean, he can share it from directly here. Okay. Do you have any question here?
No, no, I'm taking some notes, but it makes sense so far.
Yep. And then on the property again, let's get back to our property. So after, see the current state right now, the current state, it is showing that it is being shown to the buyers. That means the buyers got the email notifications for the property that we have a property for you. The email will say that we have a property for you. If you are interested, get back to us or call us on this number. I mean, we can put the agent's number or a phone number or your number on it so that buyers can directly contact you. And
Okay.
in the email notification, we can add these images, the property images that we have added in the attachments. Okay, so like the functionality will run in the backend. It will fetch all of the images of the property and it will add into a buyer's notification, the email notification. Okay,
Okay.
so at that point of time, what agents will do, the agents will come again and let's say they have talked to the buyers, and now there we have two stages here. Okay, one is inactive or withdrawn. Inactive or withdrawn means that now the seller is not interested, he do not want to continue, like he do not want to sell the property. So the agent can click on this button and the property will be marked as closed lost because the seller is not ready to sell the property. Okay,
And
the
okay,
other option is, uh-huh, go ahead.
and the markings like that is what will change when you look at the pipeline that I created because they're not lost; they're put into a tickle file. So things like that. That's where the distinctions. But keep going.
Yep. Then we have these two transitions. Okay. So one transition, like the seller withdrawn the property. He right now he just changed his mind. He do not want to sell his property and XYZ reason. If like I have not added any automation here as of now. If like further, if you tell me as per my knowledge what we can do, if somebody or agent click on this inactive or withdrawn property, so a email notification will go to the buyers who were interested in this property. They will get informed that
Yeah.
this property is not active now, but we will notify you again if we got any property for you. Okay. And then if they click on, let's say, one buyer is ready to buy this property. Okay. So agent will come here in the property. Then they will hit this button. Then they will see a sold to. In this, they will not see all of the buyers here. They will see only two buyers because if you see here, we just got two inquiry. So this means only two buyers are eligible for this property. Okay. And if I click on this sold, property sold, then they will just got this to buyers list. So they can just select it from here, like to whom this property is sold. So they will just input this and hit the save button. And
Okay.
that's it. I mean, further, I can send an email notifications to the remaining buyers that this property is sold now, but you are in our pipeline. We will again send you a properties which we will receive in your county or XYZ body. We can add into the email notification, and one email notification will go out to the person who buy this property. This one, that congratulations, and then we can set up a new pipeline for a buyer to collect the information or to have the, I mean, all of these things. I'm not aware of your pipeline, the buyer pipeline. So yeah,
Right.
this is how we can do the system, and this is what I have built for.
Okay. All right. Which okay. So this framework looks like a great start. I really need we need I the pipeline which on that link I sent you is the buyer and seller pipeline. There's both of them in there. Um, and it breaks it down very detailed, a lot of steps. There's a lot to the process that we need that I mean you can call it stages, you can regroup it into different bundles. We can talk about that. But if they're not completing these things and the checklists, at least then they won't know what to do and we won't know where a deal is at. So what the the stages you have, like the layout of what it does and then it does this next makes a lot of sense. But it needs to match what the pipelines, unless you can tell me why it shouldn't, but it needs to match the pipelines that, you know, of what needs to happen in the process. For example, on the buyer side, we have to verify their identification. We have to verify that they're
Correct.
qualified buyers. We have to know if they
Mm-hmm.
have proof of funds. We have to talk to them and find out they're real before they can even really be in the system to know that they're worth talking to. And then when a property, there's a whole nother checklist when it comes time, which doesn't have to be necessarily in the system, but when it comes time to giving them access to a property, there's giving them lock boxes or whatever. But the number of things that happen in a deal are a lot more than the stages you've created, and the number of things that occur. And also, and I don't know if how this can be programmed, or if we may not be able to. But like for example, on the checklist of things needed, do you have the documents like the pop up push button checklist you had checkbox list when it was originally that 10 or whatever checkboxes? The
Mm-hmm.
agent might sit down and they might have number 1, 5, 7, and 3. And when they
Mm-hmm.
come back, they've got 2, 4, whatever. So,
Mm-hmm.
basically understand that not everything comes in, like certain things happen in order, collection of
Mm-hmm.
data, talk to seller, present to management. Those things happen in an order. But when they're collecting data, they might get, you know, 1, 3, and 5, and then next time they get 2, 4, and 6.
Mm-hmm.
So like so we have to there has to be some way that it isn't it's a railroad, but it's not a railroad. And you tell me, hey, listen, that you're asking for too much variability. I get it. If there's a limit to the flexibility, I'll say to the agent, hey, you're going to have to do this outside the system, and when you're ready, sit down with the system. Like you're going to have to do it some other way. But that's so what you've built is great. I definitely understand it. I appreciate it. But in order for me to say phase one and phase two are there, it either it needs to follow the pipelines that I've provided or the steps or whatever you want to call them, or you need to say, hey, here's why these don't work. Can we adjust them? Because
Mm-hmm.
the 25 or 30 pipeline stages just for the seller or for the deal cycle, um, versus the 5 you have. Obviously, there's a lot of things missing in 5 that's in 25. and our business runs on having all of those steps happen. So I kind of need you to sort of move closer to the list of pipelines and steps and so forth that I provided and checklists, because without that, I don't know how to run the business based on the steps you've come up with from your side. And I'm not saying you didn't do research. I'm saying I don't know how to run a business based on those 5 steps.
Yeah. So
Um,
that is why I'm asking you. See, I show you, I already show you the whole blueprint. Okay, that the buttons that was visible to you actually was a blueprint, not a sales pipeline. So based on the sales pipeline, I built an automation which was showing you the buttons. Okay, so which is why I'm asking you, are you okay with these buttons, or you need all of those 25 buttons in
I
there?
need all of the okay, so I have to take a closer look at the buttons you've created, but really all of these buttons are things that have to happen. They
Hmm.
all have to happen. So how does the agent know they have to happen if the system doesn't ask them to do it? How do I know they happened if the agent hasn't checked them off? How do I review what the agent did if it's not in the system for me to review? So if ARV research, which is after repair value, what's it worth when it's done? If the agent
So
doesn't know
that's
they have to do that,
uh-huh.
what?
Hmm.
Sorry,
Hmm.
sorry. Finish your statement. I don't
No,
want to
no,
cut you off there.
no, no, it's okay. You go ahead.
No, I'm saying if every one of those steps, if data collection, which has a lot of subpoints from the team form, if data collection and all those things in that team form aren't collected, if it's not asked for, how does the agent know they should do it? If it's not checked off, how do I know that it was done? If I can't review it, how do I make the offer?
That also we can set up email notifications.
Right, but well, exactly. But what I'm saying is, if these 25 steps aren't in your system, how does the system know that
Right.
they should be there?
It's see, we have two options, either to have all of those 25 stages in our pipeline, or to have those in our checklist. Like we can have, like I show you, we can have 5 or 6 stages, and on those stages we will have the checklist, like moving forward, but you need to have all of these checklists. If you do
And,
not have all of these checklists done, then you cannot move forward.
okay, and if you check it off and you say, I have the ARB research done, and Steve
Hmm.
gets an email saying the ARB research is done, and Steve opens
Mm-hmm.
up Zoho and says, show me the ARB research, where is it?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm saying, where is it?
No, you will see here in the sections. And if you are asking me like how you will find for which property the email was saying that this is done, I will provide you a link of the property in your email notification body.
And again, I don't want, which is great. I don't want to get tripped up on the statement pipeline stages. I'm not telling you these have to be stages. I'm telling
Mm-hmm.
you that in order for a deal to work, the system, Zoho, as a big black box, has to have all this information. It can be a checklist, it can be a stage, it can be a pipeline, it can be whatever you want to. I don't. Again, internally, this is back when I was at Lockheed. This was the hardest thing. All right, because they're added and see, but whatever. Is my clients didn't care whether we called it HTML, CSS, Python, whatever. They cared that when they pushed the button, it did what they wanted it to do. And I'm now in the
Mm-hmm.
opposite side of that. I don't care if it's a pipeline, a stage, a checklist. I care that every part of this is baked into our system, because no wholesale business can run without all this information. If you want to break it down to 5 stages to make it simple, I'm not saying it has to be 25 stages. I don't care if it's called a stage. I care that the information is in here, it's accessible, it's usable. Because one of the later phases on our $2,300 project is to use the information in here to do math and to help the agent figure out what something is worth. So it's got to be in here and accessible.
Okay.
So how I mean this is what you built is great, and it's probably built correctly, which is what I want. But I just want to make sure that you've incorporated, whether it's in stages, phases, pipelines, checklists, whatever, what operationally has to happen.
Okay, well, let's do one thing rather than having all of these multiple, like these things here. Let's make it simple. Like, can you see the buttons here on the top of the record? Yeah. Then
Yeah.
what we can have the another button says update the property, and if they click on that, they will have all of um, all of these checklist there. Okay. If
How
this is done, they will just mark it as true.
and they will also be. It's not just, so just to be clear, it's not just done sitting on their desk. It's done
Yes.
in the system in a way that your system can show me how to find it.
Mm-hmm. I
Right?
mean that, yep, right. And that will make easy process. Like I will just provide you one button, and on click of that button, all of the checklist will be there. A pop-up include all of these options, or you can say the pipeline stages
Okay.
that
Okay. So
you
hang
have
on.
mentioned on
Let
the
me stop you.
document.
I just figured out that list entirely is not one checklist for the agent to do. It's not. Okay.
Okay.
Let me put my screen up for a second. Um,
Okay.
so you understand what this list is, because I'm not. I'm this
Hmm.
list, and you see how long it is. Honestly, actually, that's just the buyer qualification steps. This is the actual pipeline. So these are the steps things go through. So they could almost have line numbers: new submission, agent assigned, basic data collection. Lots of things. This is something the agent has to do. There's lots of things on the team form that have to be filled in. That's basic data collection. That's the team form. So we say basic data collection done, great. In the system have to be all those answers from the team form. When this is done, then it
Okay.
goes for initial review where I get to take a look at it, or the agent gets to take a look at it, or something, whatever. Then contact is made. More data is collected, and there's a whole bunch of more information they have to get. Which is mostly
Okay.
on the team form as well. Like they may not get everything in basic data collection. It might not, all the things from the team form might not be available to them. So they have to
Okay.
wait till they talk to the seller to get it. So what I'm saying is this list as in its entirety can't be just popped up and said to the agent which one of these things are done. Because the agent doesn't have the right to check off review by management. The agent doesn't have the right to check off a lot of these sections.
Okay.
So,
And who will have these options? Review by
well,
man.
review by management. Management needs to review. So,
By the management team.
yeah, I mean that's the review by management kind of is it, I picked that one because it's kind of easily built in. I have
Yep.
to
So
sign
that
off
is
or file
why.
it
So
on.
you need to split this list. Like this will be done by the team, and these will be done by the management team. This is the checklist for the team. This is the checklist for the management. This is the checklist for the
But
owners.
so the way the CRM guy that built my last the CRM guy that I learned from said that what we were
Mm,
building here was a pipeline. The stages a
mm,
property goes through from the new
correct.
submission all the way to completion. And each
Correct.
one of them, I mean, so what you're saying I need to do is I need to identify which level accomplishes each. keeping in mind that it's that level and above. So like, the agent means the manager and me can do it as well.
Correct. Yep.
Um, and I'll be perfectly honest here. When I gave you this list a month ago, would have been a great time for you to say, "Hey, I don't know how to use this list." It's a little difficult for me because I thought we were done and ready to launch a solution that now we aren't. Basically, I don't know. So I can mark this off, but from there, so you need me to mark this off. Do you know where all the questions are, or do I have to go and and do I have to reorganize every? What do I need to give you so we can actually get this portion completed and I can be running a business? Because right now I'm not able to run a business.
See,
That's
the
my
only
problem.
thing which is not clear is the stages. Okay, the checklist that you are showing me, because it has a lot of things. And the second thing is that that in this list we got a checklist for the agents, we got a checklist, it is containing the checklist for the management and other things. And in our last meetings you always said that okay, you do not have any plans or any things in your mind, so you said that just build the system, and like, if as per your understanding or the knowledge. So which is why I added the blueprints, I minimized the stages, and yeah, the system is here.
Well, and anything I understand that, but to be perfectly fair, I wouldn't have given you such detailed pipeline steps if I wasn't clear that that's what I wanted. I wouldn't have given you the checklist I gave you. I was open to expansion or adjustment, but I never said I never said this or any other option. These pipeline stages were built in, and this is where my frustration comes in, and I imagine yours as well. My frustration comes in that I thought I gave every single detail to the point that when I got it back, we might need to make some adjustments. But all that I outlined, all of the pipeline stuff that I outlined. So, anyway, I will break this down. I will go back to square one. I will give you every question that goes with every step. I will give you everything. And then I really need a
Mhm.
functional system.
Okay, no
All right.
worries, you will get
Okay.
that.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, I've got to run because actually one of the deals has been calling me while we're here. So
No,
so all right. Thank you very
no,
much.
no. And one question, do you want to continue on the CRM or in a creator? Can you please tell me? Or you
Right.
want this is
I
or
don't
the
even know.
CRM?
First of all, you haven't really answered the number question. So the creator is on hold because you can't tell you. We keep bouncing around. You said You
Mhm.
said 4,000, which is 1,700 additional, and you said 650 additional. Those are hugely different conversations. Right now, I want to get to the point where we complete this phase one and phase two
Okay.
properly, so that I can
Mm-hmm.
pay you for it. But I also, before honestly, I want to know the answer to the numbers. We've gone, it was 4,000, it was 1,700 more, it was 650 more, it was this. It was like, well, if we ignore all the other stuff we agreed to, it's going to be 3,000. Well, no, I'm saying we started with a 2350 solution. How much more to add the creator module? That is not, and you said at 12:30 something yesterday, yes, 650 more, which would turn 2350 into 3000, which means 4000 would never have fit in the equation. So again, I'm circling back to my frustrations because here, right here, 2350 plus 650 is 3000. So the original 2350 plus the creator module of 650 is 3000. And yes, you said yes, 650 more, which is enormously different than what you set up here when you mentioned $4,000.
No worries. Let me check the faces first. No worries. And regarding the right now system that we have, I just need the things from your
I'm
side.
going to break down
That
every line of that so absurdly detailed that there will be no more questions.
okay.
Okay.
That
All
would
right.
be great.
All right.
Yep.
Thanks.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.